Hey guys, it's me Suja over here. Welcome back to another video. So on this video, I'm going to be talking about why are Indian men obsessed with height. So yeah, I want to talk about this topic. If you're new to my channel, the name of my channel is called as Sujo in Vietnam. I've been living in Vietnam for over 7 years now. I was an English teacher before for 4.5 years. Then I started my online business, and I'm also a full-time YouTuber. So if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, it takes less than 2 seconds to hit the subscribe button, and that way you can support my work and my content. A quick disclaimer: I'm going to be very a quick disclaimer. I'm talking about why are most Indian men obsessed with height. So, you know, I'm not trying to make this kind of a negative video. If you are a tall, heighted Indian, good for you. I'm very happy for you. I myself am 5 feet 8, or how do you say that? 5'8". I'm kind of averagely well heighted. So if you're taller, if you're like 6 foot or 6'1", good for you. But I just want to talk about this topic, all right? So this is something which which I'm kind of experiencing a lot, during my short stay out here in India. Just had a bit of water. This is like a typical Indian stainless steel cup, which we usually use back home here in India. It's very traditional. Um, so yeah, the firstly is that according to me, uh, you know, there's this huge obsession out here in India, is that especially among Indian men, is that they have to be tall. Like I checked on the internet that a good heighted Indian man should be around 5'8" to like 6 feet or something. So 6 feet is actually the optimal height. It's like the gold standard, and if you're like 6'2", that is like the double gold standard or something. And if you are like 5'6", 5 feet 6 inches, you're considered short. Like not very much acceptable. Like when it comes to various factors, like if you want to, like in terms of marriage, getting married over here in India, the preferences of most Indian women, I just want to let you know, is that most Indian women out here usually prefer tall Indian men who are like above 5'7", like 5'8". 6 feet is like gold standard, and they prefer the looks. The Indian man, his look should be like of that of Chris Hemsworth or something like that, um, which according to me is all complete BS. I mean, you don't find true love like that. Like there's this old say, like my knight in shining armor, he has to be tall. Here in India, usually tall. This say which we have, you have to be tall, dark, and handsome, because majority of the Indians, we are all dark skinned. We have dark brown complexion. So I'm very happy. I'm a person of color. But I think this say which is there, like has to be my shining armor. My knight in shining armor has to be tall, dark, and handsome. I think that's all BS. I mean, the most important thing, like if you are short, okay, if you're a short heighted Indian, if you are like 5'6" or 5'5", all right, don't um, don't give up, right? Don't Remember the most important thing which I have learned, like especially when you are if you really want to be successful in life, is your confidence. What do you bring to the table? All right, your knowledge, your values, that should be taken into consideration. I don't. It's a very wrong thing to judge somebody based on his or her height. There's a say, like if you are in India, especially the Indian mentality usually is like, if the Indian man is tall, he has a lot of money, he's successful, his social status is very good. That's all BS. Like if you step out of the country, right? If you go internationally, I've seen, like, especially I travel a lot around in Southeast Asia, like sometimes I do see some tall heighted Indian guys, like they're just, you know, they're just hanging around with their buddies. They're not able to integrate with the environment over there. They don't, they just hang around with their circle. They're not able to integrate, or so I think, I'm not saying about all tall heighted Indian men, but I think that is just like, that's the way it is. Like, what do you bring to the table? Like, you don't have to be tall to be very successful. You need to get your confidence, like, so I just got a couple of things which I've actually written down, a couple of the points. So I'm just going to be discussing that. Sorry, there seems to be someone thumping on the roof, and it kind of pisses me off. So I don't know who does that. But the first one is a cultural perception. Like the Indian cultural perception over here is that, um, like the Indian man has to be tall, so that would be more accepted by the society. The second one would be the marriage material. Like, majority of the Indian girls, they prefer to marry an Indian man who is taller, around 5'7", around 5'8", would be the optimal height. But even if the Indian girl is short, because averagely, like most Indian women I see out here, they're like 5'2" or something like that. But their requirements for marrying an Indian man is way up there. It's just that, the Indian man has to be like 6 footer, the looks of Chris Hemsworth. It's just like, and I think the main reason why this is due to the Bollywood. Too much of Bollywood out here in India is that, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Bollywood. I love the songs and dances. I think Bollywood is a very vibrant industry, but we need to understand is that these Bollywood actors, male actors, they work very hard, tirelessly, to be in the best of shape and to have the best of physique, which is very, very difficult for normal Indian men to follow that kind of routine and schedule. They have strict diets and everything. So, when we watch all these Bollywood movies, we see all our favorite Bollywood actors. They're very tall. They have the best of physique and everything. Good for them. But you got to understand that Bollywood is purely for entertainment. All right. So it entertains a lot of Indian masses. But we should also look into consideration that it may not be a good option to copy your favorite Bollywood actor. Okay, you can copy certain things, but trying to grow tall, even if you're not a tall heighted Indian. And then, I've been hearing about most Indian young guys, they like to do these leg surgeries to become tall, to increase their height. But you need to understand these are so dangerous procedures, operations, surgeries. You can even, these are harmful for you. Like, it's always good to live a natural life. Be very happy who you are. That's the most important thing. Be confident. Even if you're not tall, be confident. Because don't dishearten yourself. Don't feel like, oh, I'm not that tall. I don't have an average height. I don't have a good average height out here in India. I'm not able to find an Indian girlfriend. Um, so remember, if someone loves you, she will not care about if you're tall or if you're short, all right, or if you are the same height. Like in the Western society, it's very normal, when people get married, like maybe the husband and the newlywed bride and groom, they're like the same height, even in Southeast Asia, like even in Vietnam and Thailand. I've seen short-heighted guys, dating tall girls, or being the same height. So, and it's perfectly normal. At the end of the day, it all comes down to confidence. And remember, if someone really loves you, she's not going to be looking at, she's not going to be judging you like, are you tall? She's going to be looking at you as a human being from inside. So I think that is very important, which you should take into account. And of course, this personal insecurities which most Indian men have is that I'm not very tall. So, and this mindset they have that, I want to make friends with those group of people, but they're taller than me. I'm not very confident to be friends with them, or they might feel like, okay, we are tall people, we're a tall group of friends, we don't want to make friends with that guy, he's a short Indian or whatever. I think that's a very wrong thing, and even in the corporate environment, which I've been hearing, is that, in some of these Indian corporate environments, like the people who do get promotions and everything, I've been hearing, actually, I don't know if it's true or not, but the Indian man, I mean, the Indian guy who's working in the company, he's kind of tall, he's taller, and, he gets the promotion quickly or whatever. I think that if that is the case, then that's a sad reality. It all comes down to performance. Like I said, what do you bring to the table? That is very important. The confidence is very important, right? And of course, it's peer pressure. Like if you're not tall, you know maybe you get pressured by your family members. Like you need to be a bit taller. You need to do a lot of stretching, or you need to start having these height growing supplements, which I actually did. Which I actually did. I wouldn't lie about that. When I was a teenager back here in India, I would be buying all those height growing supplement pills and, eating them like crazy, and they never worked. It all comes down to good nutrition, like your workout, having the proper sleep, do everything natural. It follows, and there's certain things which you can't change. Like if your father or if your mother, if they're not tall, it also comes down to genetics, right? So you cannot cheat that. You cannot say that, okay, I'm going to be much taller. Sometimes is the genetics which plays. You can't do much about it. I mean, I've seen, like, like some of the most richest people in India, they're not very tall. They're very average heighted. So like I said, it all comes down to confidence, what you bring to the table, right? Your knowledge and your value. And I think the mindset, the mentality of most of the Indians, should also change. Is that, height, don't judge a person by his height, right? It all comes down to how the person is, the value, the quality of that person. Is he a good natured person? It all comes down to that. I mean, if I really want to make friends with someone, I'm not going to be looking at that person. Is that, oh, he's tall, or he's short or something. It's just that the person, the human being, if the person is nice and is a good character person, definitely, I would love to make friends with that person. So, and also this craze which I see, is that I've been told, is that, like the Indian guys who are not very tall, who are kind of short, they like to hang around with tall Indian guys. Whatever. I don't know what's got to do with that, because that's not going to make you tall or whatever. But I think they feel like it's cool or something. I don't know. But remember, if you're not a very if you're a very average heighted Indian person, or if you're like 5 feet 5 or 5 feet 6, um, don't feel disheartened. Just be confident, and remember, success is not judged by your height, but it's what you bring to the table. And I think that is most important, right? So let me know. I would love to hear from you in the comment section below. Like, are you an average heighted Indian person? Do you find challenges out here living in India? Or how does it feel like being a tall, heighted Indian out here in India? I would love to hear from you, because each of all of your feedbacks, they really I really cannot they really help me, to understand everything over here. Yeah, and apologies, of the thumping noise on the roof. I don't know, seems to be some kind of an asshole doing that, but it's just I really don't give two flying F's about it. Yeah. But yeah, if you like watching this video, make sure to like this video and all the good stuff. If you found this video to be informational, make sure to, you can buy me a coffee. The link is down in the description below. And if you're traveling around in Southeast Asia, or if you're living in India and you want to start a successful online business, you can check out the free webinar workshop. It's free to join. So I highly recommend you do that. So with that being said, you guys have a great day. This is me, Sujoy. Peace out.